It's July the 26th, it's Saturday, and I'm at for a transway station in the bathroom stall, mostly because I was going to stop at the library, but I didn't. I'm still at the shelter. I'm at the shelter till August 1st. I managed to secure them, and upon hearing this through the microphones, Melanie Murado decided to go down. Well, John just took a picture of the building that I'm going to be in. Melanie tried to contact the superintendent. The shelter's fine, and I want to say something that has been said. A lot of people there've been certain situations, especially at Atwell, where people have stated that how could she be in a Muslim shelter or with Islamic people? It's run by Islamic Muslim community. I am about to say something to the Christian world. Maybe if the Christian world would stand up and stop belittling, criticizing, and being judgmental of other races and other communities, maybe it might be a lot better. Okay? I will say this. It has been the Islamic and Muslim community at that shelter which has housed me, which has made sure I'm safe, which has fed me, and which has allowed me to shower and go to Daily Bread, the community in which our Heavenly Father has given me. I will also say that I have secured a place in Etobicoke, as well as there's a pending job offer. There is a stigma attached to being in a shelter that you have entered the shelter system. The shelter is a system in which should not have. It has been debilitating to people, to their psyches. That the reason why they can't get out is because of the certain situations where they find themselves, which through no fault of their own, basically, and people put the stigma on them. And that's wrong. That's wrong. That's very wrong. If you see me, this is what I've been wearing, mostly because I'm going to take this off. At Daily Bread, I had to cover my wig, and it became awful. If you remember what it looked like before, see how it is now. There's lost most of its curl, and I had to cut it in the back, so it's become really bad. I refuse to wear my blonde-haired wig because I don't want to ruin it, and it's a $500 wig, and I don't have right now the money to replace it. I will replace my other wig, and I will get this, but this will be strictly a Daily Bread wig. I've also been spoken to by Ash. When I say been spoken to, but I'm hearing through the microphone of my hearing aids, right? So Ash is in the office, and what I am doing is that when you wear gray with any color, like black and beige and pink and gray, black and beige and blue and gray, black and beige and orange and gray, black and beige and yellow and gray, black and beige and white and gray, any color, I am praying for you. And I will pray openly if our Heavenly Father tells me to pray openly, or I will, and by openly I mean whisper, or I will pray silently. Ash and Murray have said you have no covering. We don't allow you to pray. Well, back when I was in Toronto, I was actually released to pray by Kate Daniels and by Duncan. So both of them released me to pray. So if I've still been released, I've also went to Global Celebration of School of Supernatural Ministries. So Coco and Georgie have allowed me as their covering to pray. I've sat under a lot of good teaching, but it is good. If you want me to pray for you, I'll pray for you. You wear the gray, I'll pray for you. So far, what I'm seeing is that more people are gaining their voice. With each and every color, you're gaining their voice. And as you gain your voice, and I pray for you, or you gain your voice and band together and rally together as a revolution, that it's called, then the voice is getting stronger and the voice is getting louder. And that's what's going on. The other thing that I heard also is that Sandra Long has told the intercessors in Toronto that she doesn't want them wearing black and beige. Ash has told Melinda Jeffries that if anybody wears black and beige to church, they're not allowed to be allowed in. That's a cult. That's a formation. That's the first step in a formation of a cult. When a leader of a church, that's spiritual abuse, when a leader of a church tells you that you cannot wear a certain clothing, that you cannot, and I'm talking about appropriate clothing, and you know what I mean by appropriate clothing. I'm talking about not walking into church naked and not walking into church with certain being exposed. When you can't wear appropriate clothing, when you can't go to a certain place, when you can't see certain people. There are laws in this country that she is completely unaware of, and I've spoken to people in the office about how the laws in this country, they get threatened because they can't see me. Before when I was just released from the church, Ash would threaten them, or I will take your paycheck, or you will be fired, or whatever. It's called PAPITA. It's called the Employment Service Act of Ontario. She has no knowledge of this. So tell Sandra Long and, Stephen told the outreach team as well, or Sandra Long told the outreach team that they couldn't wear black and beige on outreach. So telling these people that you're not allowed at church, you're not allowed to take part of the community, you're not allowed to take part of connect groups, you're not allowed to take part of that ministries in which are evolved out of the church, then that is an evolution. That's what's happening. You're evolving into a cult. And I will say that openly. So, what do? You show up in black and beige, and Ash sees you, or Murray sees you, and Melinda Jeffries waddles over and says, you're out. Or Shane or whoever waddles over and they say, you're out. That's illegal. You've done nothing wrong. But then they could say you're a disruption to their services, and they could call the police and say you're a disruption to their services, and you say how? And they say, hey, you're out. And that's how it was done with me. Because I would not move over, because Ash didn't want me beside her during worship service, because Duncan was coming in. Ash didn't want me, she didn't want me there anyways, because she didn't want me, and Melinda Jeffries waddled over and tried to remove me and physically assaulted me. I still have the bruises on my laptop, and I was out. And that's the only reason I was released from the church. I was stated that I was a disturbance, I was stated that I was a disruption to this community, and then everything happened. So I became out. And it just snowballed with Melanie and Jonathan and their defamation of character, and Ash and her defamation of character, and Sandra Long and her defamation of character, and Murray and his defamation of character, and Melinda Jeffries, and then the whole thing snowballed, and that is resulting in a lawsuit. The biggest lawsuit that Castle Fire and Toronto Rally World has ever seen in their entire life. I will say this, I cannot say too much, but I will say it is a lawsuit that involves a really huge amount of money, and this could end up the church, Cash Fire World, Cash Fire Toronto, Cash Fire Rally will cease to exist as it is today. And that's all I'm saying. And that's not a threat. That's just the truth coming out. Like I said, I'm here for a little bit. Probably will leave here at 5. It's 3:51 p.m. And I'm not doing anything, but I'll be sitting here reading my book. I'll show you the book. The autobiography of a female slave. It was written in the 1800s by a woman who had actually inherited her father's. Her father died, and she inherited her father's plantation, and she freed all these slaves. So before the Civil War, I believe it is. Looks like Martha Griffin Brown. Yeah, it was before the Civil War, and she educated them as well. So that's what I'm reading, and that's what I'm going to be doing. It is hot outside, so I'm not going to stand outside. I spent the majority of the day at the Long Branch Library and going back and forth on Lake Shore Boulevard West, praying for people while I was on there, but also securing housing. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that, and that's it. So if you see me out and about and it's Saturday, Sunday, I'm wearing this, and if it's not Saturday, Sunday, and I'm wearing my daily bread shirt, yellow. Some guy said to me, what does yellow stand for? Yellow for me does not stand for that I'm suicidal. Yellow for me is my daily bread t-shirt. Okay, I tend to wear all the colors. I try to. I don't have a lot of pink, but I tend to like to wear all the colors to support you. And I'm praying for, if you want to pray for me, I need $1,200 last month's rent. I have to get a bed. I have to get a dresser because Linda Clausen over in St. Catharines, she sold all my furniture. When I left to go to North Carolina, I didn't give me the money. She made $1,600 over there. Tracy Giesbrecht I do want to mention this, Tracy Giesbrecht has been seen in the office. She'll say she goes to Arlene Vanderstoot's house in Toronto and spends some time going back and forth. She's in the office and she's practicing witchcraft. That's what they can be charged with. A lot of things that's going on in there against me, they can be charged with witchcraft. That is what has been spoken about by a police officer. So Yeah. Oh, and the police are following me because I'm in a shelter, and because what's happening and what has happened with Zachary and Jonathan and Dallas following me. I am followed by Peel Regional Police and Toronto Regional Police to make sure everything's okay. So that's all. Have a good day.